Hello, Daisy Cakes. This is Daisy X Machina, the drag queen detective that investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And this is a get ready with me where I get into drag to film a video later today. And we have John here. Hey, John Crow. Pan, I haven't seen you before, Pan. Thank you for joining. And we have Lynette. Yay. The question, as usual, is how is your reading going this week? Um, as you know, I'm like a month ahead of the videos I'm releasing. So I read a book that I'm going to talk about in a month. But I also read, not this week, but since I released the video on Three to Conquer, the book I chose for the Hugos, um, that's a really interesting book because it is written as a hard boiled detective novel. You know, those novels or those characters from the 40s, 50s, the gumshoes, the Sam Spades, the Maltese Falcon, that Humphrey Bogart type is the main character and that type of language, you know, is used throughout the book. And I was surprised to find out that this is a British writer. Eric Frank Russell is British, and uh, and there was one little phrase that really popped out that was very very British. But other than that, I didn't realize that he was an American because it was such an American style. It was set in America, yada yada yada. and it's um, and it's about a guy who is a detective, but he also has the power to read people's minds or listen into their thoughts. And as far as he knows, he's the only one in the world that has this ability. And he runs across a woman, and he sort of reads her mind or scans her mind and realizes that she's an alien, but he has such a visceral, sort of instinctual reaction, like coming across a snake about to bite him type of reaction, that he shoots her dead. And so, yeah, that's how it starts. I like the book. There's some parts I didn't quite connect with. He is known, as I research these writers, as having a libertarian bent. So it was, that type of Heinlein type character, which doesn't bother me, but it bothers some people. Um, I'm curious about this writer, though. Very interesting. Oh, and I've had a break where I don't really have anything to read, so I said, well, I just want to pick something for pleasure, and I was going to pick the new R.F. Kuang book, Calabasas or something. And I was reading the blurb because, this is not shelve it or shove it. I can read the blurbs. And I was like, I'm not really in the mood for a dark academia. There's all these authors who grew up on Harry Potter suddenly are writing these books based in schools. And I'm like, I'm not in the mood for that. So I picked up another Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's my new favorite. Okay. Started Chapter House Dune. I haven't really read Kept Up with Dune after God Emperor. So is that the one written by his son? Um, very good. Finished a Drop of Corruption. Excellent. I thought the mystery itself was better than the first book. I agree. I actually liked the second in this series more than the first. And I loved the first. So, great trajectory. Tell us what you're reading, Pan, if you're reading. Also read The Terminal Man by Crichton. My least favorite by him so far. Thinking about rereading The Dancers at the End of Time by Michael Moorcock. Loved your Dorothy Misty. Oh, thank you. I had that 50s type dress. And I don't know why I was doing this because I'm like, oh, I'm in the 50s. Um, for the Hugo, so I should dress like that, but I don't really have backgrounds necessarily for that. Uh, Now reading Mortal Monarchs, which is how all the monarchs of England died. I just finished King John. Oh, it's the last of the Herbert series. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Michael Moorcock, but I appreciate his style. It's very stylized. Okay, let's put on some makeup. I didn't think this through. I think I'm just gonna do a purple look. I'm actually going to film today because I'm so far ahead in videos and reading. Um, but my every 6 months I do a review of the Shelve It or Shove It books I picked for the previous 3 months, plus a ugly cover video book, the ugliest cover of the last 6 months. But I'm doing going on. I want to do the review video today. Oh, come on. I should toss some of the brushes I don't use. Okay, should I do purple? I did blue last week, so let's do purple. Let's do purple and yellow. Yellow lid. When I was putting on my nose contour, I used a brush that had a bunch of glitter on it. I didn't realize it, so now I have this shiny nose. I tried to tame it down, but you see a video where I have a shiny nose, that's why. Oh, on Netflix, I saw the new Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I really liked it. I was actually tearing up at the end. And the Frankenstein monster was not your traditional like MGM type monster. It was very stylized, you know. And I believe the Frankenstein monster was played by an actor who's Australian. I don't know if they picked him for his acting abilities or because he's like almost 7 feet tall, but he was very good. But yeah, highly recommend. Frankenstein, now on Netflix. I mean, he really did a great job of showcasing or answering, illustrating the uh, question of who is the monster, Frankenstein or his creation. Okay. Oh gosh, I missed a lot of stuff. The Elric series is good. Yeah, that's. I love the concept of Elric of Melniboné and his sword. What's it called? I want to say Stormbringer. Is that it? Um, but I don't know. His writing style just isn't for me. I just have a hard time connecting with the style. I gave up on the mushroom murders. Oh, one of the most covered murder trials in Australian history. Huh. Because that just happened. That was just really recent. How'd they write a book so fast? In the Quorum series. I only read Elric series by Moorcock, and that was in the early 80s. Oh, exactly the same. Hey, DK. Nice to do it right from the point of view of an imaginary juror. That's odd. Red shiny nose might be in order for next month. Okay, yeah, I didn't think about that. We already have Rudolphs on our street. Oh my gosh, and this one is kinkier than his fantasy stuff. More like Behold the Man or some Philip Jose Farmer's darker books. You know, Philip Jose Farmer actually wrote erotica. I'm not sure if it's like under an assumed name or his name. Um, I'm talking about Rudolph's. Yeah, we have on my street. I think there's going to be a Christmas decoration contest, which we've never had before. But Dennis, my husband, who's Filipino, loves Christmas, and I'm like, please, no Christmas music until after Thanksgiving. But of course, I heard him play Christmas music already. Oh, it just gets earlier and earlier. I have the second book about Victor Frankenstein's teenage years to read. Who wrote that? Loved Frankenstein. I like Christmas time, so I don't mind the early decorations. I will put my tree and decorations up on the 1st of December. Stormbringer, thank you. That's right. And wasn't there a second sword that someone else had like a twin to Stormbringer? And who's Moonglum? Is that like his sidekick? It's been too long. Like I said, I do like the story of Elric. Yeah. But regarding Dune, I remember, I mean, I am a huge, huge fan of the original um, trilogy. I mean, I was obsessed with it when I read it in high school, which is kind of the, I think, as a teenager, that's sort of the time for it to speak to you. If you identify with Paul Atreides. So I remember when Dune, God Emperor Dune came out in the 80s, I think. Or was it 70s? I think it was the 80s. And I was really excited about it, but it's just so weird. And after that, I was like, I'm done with Dune. I mean, in my memories of the first trilogy, I don't need to keep reading. Hmm. Let me put on some white. Mornblade, thank you, DK. It's a twin sword. Check out Behold the Man, very blasphemous. I was surprised how quickly the book came out after the trial. There's another book coming out next year, which I will read. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be, it feels as though if a good writer would take the time to write a good book, you know, won't turn it around so quickly as, because it's just been months, right, since the end of the trial. Image of the Beast is very erotic by PJ Farmer, Philip A. Farmer. I haven't read it, but I love his the Riverboat series. Appealing her conviction so it isn't over. Okay, that's not even over. Wow. We celebrate the solstice more. And his birthday in March. The book about Frankenstein's teenagers are dark endeavor and such wicked intent. He has a twin brother in the book. Huh. It's interesting because in the Guillermo del Toro movie, he has a brother, not a twin brother, but a brother. Yurkun's sword. Okay. It's kind of coming back to me. On white. White. Mm. On white. I need to get into black. Space Vampires by Colin Wilson, also great dark erotica. Colin Wilson, why is that name so familiar? I need to look him up. Blown by Philip A. Farber. I like mystery presents, so I bought myself a mystery box from Typo for Christmas. How pathetic is that? Did you open it? I like mystery presents I brought. Is that a book? Thank you, Pan. Loves the purple. John just ordered the new 2380 for my solstice present. You want to know something crazy? I was born on solstice. Meaning I have a birthday coming up. And isn't Christmas really a celebration of solstice? I mean, didn't um, Christianity kind of absorbed the pagan holidays and moved the birthday of Jesus Christ to correspond to the pagan holiday. Certainly, Easter or Easter was with the eggs and the rabbits. It's a pagan tradition. Certainly, the Christmas tree didn't. Is must be pagan. And the myth can't pronounce Mithras, Mithras. If you look him up, it's like a lot of his um, a lot of the mythos around Mithras was absorbed by seemingly absorbed by Christ. But what do I know? For me, Christmas is more about culture and nostalgia rather than religion. But how I enjoy it anyway. Got my son to open it and make sure nothing was broken, but I won't open it on Christmas Day. Powerful date. I'm a powerful person, John. No, kidding. Oh, my audio is low? Or maybe I'm just talking low. But I can turn this up. Hold on. I think I can turn it up. Okay, I just turned up the mic volume. So hopefully I'm a little bit louder. I'll try to talk a little bit louder. Behold the Man is a very wicked twist on the Christian myth by Moorcock, but very dark, erotic, and blasphemous. Hey, Pan, do you also like Samuel R. Delany? One of my favorite authors, but he definitely goes, or a lot of his writing swings into the erotica. A couple years ago, I ordered a mystery box from the book grocer, but I only liked a few of the books, so I won't go for one of those again. See, that's what I'm afraid of for like, because I've gotten like mystery book boxes from Amazon, not from Amazon, excuse me, from eBay, and it's really hit or miss because I kind of would prefer to pick my own books. Myth was born on the 25th and had 12 disciples too. There you go, John. Okay. Okay, so maybe I didn't need to turn it up, but it's up. This book with Dick. Oh, okay. Um, okay, I'm going to use some eyeliner and then we'll move on to the cut crease. I'm just putting an outline on of where I want the black to go. Okay. What did I say I was going to do? Yellow. Roger Zelazny. I love him too. The Amber series. Going to protest today. Amber series, yes. The building of the third stadium in Tasmania. Yeah, I remember you talking about that, Lynette. They're spending loads of money on a stadium that may not uh, pay for itself. Amber was my favorite series for a while before Wheel of Time. I love Wheel of Time. We only have 550K people, so we don't need a new stadium. Well, I could go on and on about Wheel of Time. Um, I do enjoy a long series when I started at the beginning or near the beginning because what was it, like 15 years for the entire 20 years for the entire series to get published. Um, but there are some weak books in there, but I just remember talking about it with other with my friends who were also into the series. Um, and waiting for the new book to come out. It's just such a shame that Jordan died before he was able to finish it. Because I don't think, maybe this is controversial, I don't think Brandon Sanderson really captured, excuse me, the characters like Robert Jordan did. Actually, I mean, I pulled out white. Do I? But I have a yellow primer. Okay. Middle books are a bit weak. Not sure if I read Delaney. What should I read? Samuel R. Delaney wrote what is considered the Ulysses of science fiction. It's called Dahlgren, Dhalgren, but it's very difficult to read, and there's no real plot. It's just like an exercise in timelessness. Um, so I don't actually recommend that to people unless you're really into difficult, interesting types of reads. Um, Babel, but his earlier works like Babel 17, is that right? Was very good. Triton. Um, yeah, I would look for a standalone early science fiction books to start reading. I'm not reading long fantasy series unless they are complete. Sando Matt. Oh, Sanderson's Matt was weak. He did a good job with the Egwene. Love Egwene in the last three books. If and it is big. If George R. R. Martin ever puts out the sixth book, I will have to find a very good synopsis. I'm exactly the same. Although I did watch the Game of Thrones series, and I believe they followed the books pretty well. Um, Maybe not so much every subplot, but those gave a okay overview, I think. Did not get into him. Okay. I don't know if anyone here is an Adrian Tchaikovsky fan, but I really enjoy his Tyrant Philosopher series. And one thing I really appreciate about that series, his fantasy series, is that you could read each book as a standalone. They're like contained stories. You don't really need, although there is a timeline. But for each individual story, you don't really need to know the or remember the plots of the previous books. Oh, a complete fantasy series. I'm thinking of Brandon Sanderson. Um, I really enjoy his original first three books in the Mistborn series. I think that's very readable, very good. I'm also a huge fan of the Greenbone Saga by Fonda Lee. Um, I don't think many people talk about this aspect of it, but I just think it's a um, really fascinating this yellow powder, loose powder, um, metaphor for the Cold War from the perspective of like the smaller um, Asian countries that became the proxy battles between the U.S. and the USSR. And it's a family saga, which you don't see very often in speculative. And it's dark. It's very dark. I don't even remember Arya in the books. Which daughter is she? Is she the middle daughter? I do remember her from the books because hold on, who's the youngest one? I mean, she's the best because she became the assassin. But the middle or the oldest daughter was probably the most unlikable of the Stark children, but she was also the most sort of manipulated that you feel sorry for her the most. Enjoy the series with some tactical mistakes from in some of the battles. Oh, I missed Pan's A Feast by Philip Farmer for anyone into multiple ejaculations. Oh goodness, goodness. Purple, yellow. Thank you. I agree. Purple and yellow. That was also my high school colors. I like most of the Sando books, but didn't really like the Era Switch for Mistborn. Yeah. I read one of his steampunk Mistborn books and I didn't continue with it. That's why I just say if you want to try Sanderson, first three Mistborn books and you should be good. If you like really, really epic fantasies, maybe the um oh I just blanked. Stormlight Saga. Never read. Sanderson, that was Arya. Ties in the continuation of the Stormlight and probably done with that series now. Well, fortunately, the first five books, the Stormlight series is complete from that. He said he's going to continue with another 5 books, but at least the storyline is complete in this part 1 of the Stormlight. Sansa is still in the Dale. Sansa Stark, that's it. And I was disappointed that they didn't continue, or they didn't explore the mother, whose name I'm blanking on, Lady Stark, in the televised series. But I understand that it's just you can't do everything, and that was me out of left field. I wish the purple was as bright as the yellow, but here we are. Caitlin, thank you. Just read the 5 Stormlights, but won't read 6 plus. I probably will because, um, like I said, I like reading books as they come out. And for a series like that with so many books, it's just a big ask to read like a million pages in one sitting. That's what happened to me with the Malazan books by Stephen Erickson. I really, really liked the first 3 books. And I started really late, so all the books were, or most of the books were out. And I got up to like book 6 or 7, and I just burnt out on reading them. And I always thought, well, maybe one day I'll just pick it back up. But it's been so long now. But I thought his writing was brilliant. But if you're looking for good fantasy, um, Guy Gavriel Kay is one of, I think, I'd almost call him a literary fantasy writer. And speaking of literary, Gene Wolfe did some interesting fantasy. Although he's more known for science fiction. Oh, what am I thinking of? T. Kingfisher, my favorite uh, fantasy writer right now. And I love that she can just, she's mostly known for, I don't know if she's mostly known, but for retellings. I was going to say fairy tale retelling, but she did the Fall of the House of Usher retelling, which was fantastic. But I love how she just takes a the fairy tale and just finds the most unexpected angle to reimagine it from. Like the last one I read from Shelve It or Shove It, um, Hemlock and Silver. Because I'm not really into, I wouldn't consciously look for a Snow White retelling, because I mean it's been done to death. But her focus was on her main character was a poisoner, a poisonist, a poison expert who is a healer who specializes in healing poison, people that are poisoned, and the king, who's still alive, has a daughter named Snow, who he thinks might be poisoned. And it's just such a clever retelling, a reimagining of Snow White. Because you recognize some aspects of it, but it's like a totally different story. Okay. I thought Daenerys turning evil in the last episode jarring. Oh, everyone didn't like the last the last leg of the televised version, HBO's version of Game of Thrones, but it wasn't based on a book because it's not written yet. So who knows how the story really is going to end. If they ever re-record the audiobooks of Game of Thrones, I will read them again. The narration by Roy Dotrice was terrible. Oh no, but he had died. Oh dear. I could only read 2 Malazan books before I had to take a break for a few months. Yeah. I should have spaced them out, but I was like reading them back to back. I think I went to the Philippines with Dennis, and he was visiting his family. So I wanted like a big series to keep me occupied. And then I just kept trying to read them after we got back, and I just burnt out. Tolkien Feist and Eddings fantasy series in that order. Yeah, that's very traditional. I'm trying to think of other types of works like that. I mean, I keep thinking of Sanderson is in that vein. I don't tend to read epic fantasy, but like books like The Tainted Cup. Also, I've enjoyed the Kingfisher books I have read so far. I refuse to read Eddings. Can't separate the art from the artist. Yeah, I don't know if I could read. I mean, he's passed away, and his controversial stuff he did serve time for. I mean, um, so he paid his dues or whatever you say, and I don't know. Not so fond of him since the revelation of abuse. Daenerys was always evil. I think she was really gray. That's what I like about George R. R. Martin. I think his characters are can be very gray. I didn't take Malazan breaks between books. I would stop right in the middle of a book. Oh, that's interesting. Because those are some chunky books too. Okay, let's see. Or maybe I'll do. Okay, I'm gonna switch to purple to shade. Probably won't even see it. Okay. I might read the Eddings books if the money went towards the son he abused. We don't know anything about the son because the son was adopted um, by Eddings. The both Lee and the husband. What's his first name? Anyway, um, but he was taken away and adopted and raised by a different family. So we don't. I don't think we know anything about him. Except I do recall reading something that he was so young when all that happened that he doesn't really have memories of that, or maybe he blocked it out. But I hope he's doing well. I'd rather it just go to just some charity that looks after abused children, because son's probably in his 50s by now. Oh, you didn't like Daenerys from the start? I did. I like Daenerys. I like most of the Starks and some of the Barth. I really like the Baratheons. It was just such a interesting um, history of how he became king and how he's sort of didn't really like ruling. He liked becoming king, but wasn't really a ruling king. Um, okay, I'm going to add some glitter on the lids. I really like this stuff. I should get. Okay. I like the money from the books go to towards some college. All right, for Eddings, Dave Eddings. Name. Okay. I was never a huge fan of Eddings, but I remember really enjoying his books in the 90s and late, actually 80s and 90s. Simply because there wasn't that much out there fantasy wise. Because I remember the bookstore, rather the Feists and the Tolkiens and um, actually that was it. There's a couple other people that wrote fantasy, but Eddings had like a big section, and also Mercedes Lackey had a big section in the bookstores. This is back when I was an assistant manager in a bookstore. I remember stocking. felt so powerful because I got to be the one to order or restock uh, the sections, and of course, I was mostly interested in the fantasy section or the science fiction section, and I got to choose which books to that we would restock. The bestsellers was done by the manager. She stocked the bestseller section. The son has no conscious memory, but it still probably affects him psychologically. Yeah, you're probably right, Lynette. I guess back then I probably read children's fantasy as that existed. Yeah, my premise is that there really wasn't much fantasy, um, at least like there is now in the 70s, and it just started turning with Shannara. Um, Carrie Brooks, that's another one. It was Shannara. Um, and Thomas Covenant Chronicles. I remember reading the Thomas Covenant Chronicles in the. I was like a teenager in my 16, something like that, and I just remember being shocked that my great aunt Fedora uh, had read it, and I was like, "You read fantasy?" It's funny because at least I, as a kid, had a hard time believing that any adults were interested in anything I was interested in. Like if I was interested in something, that means it was meant for kids or teenagers. I remember my uncle Roger. Um, I was like really young, like 7, 8 years old, but my uncle Roger was said, "Oh, I like Star Trek," and I couldn't believe it. As like an adult like Star Trek. I thought that was for kids. My father did not like any science fiction. Okay, I think I'm done with the eyes. Maybe just do a little blending. Okay. Read more fantasy since I started following Daisy. Yay. Or is that good or bad? For my high school graduation ray, I had to get the white and gold option. Never read any. Well, you start with the first one, the Belgariad. Is that the first one? It's very traditional Tolkien, very Tolkien inspired fantasy. Only read the ones part of the Belgariad series. I didn't read the Mallorca series. My mom used to go out and cook dinner when Doctor Who was on. We had only one TV. Talking about Doctor Who, my favorite Doctor, Tom Baker, was just awarded an OBE. I don't know what it's. Some one of those knighthoods, or he could call him Sir now. Whatever. It's a little late in the game for him because he's in his 90s. But there's pictures of him if you Google online where he's in the TARDIS, getting the OBE, and has his traditional long scarf. He still has like great hair, that sort of floofy Doctor Who hair, only now bone white. And if you Google around, also taking pictures with him in the TARDIS, this 90-year-old Tom Baker is um, who played Leela or Tila, the barbarian Jameson, Louise Jameson, who looks fantastic too. And she's in her 80s, 70s, 80s. And she's one of my favorite companions. My favorite Doctor Who companions. Okay, Lynette and I are talking Doctor Who. I'm sure this is boring some people. But my favorite Doctor Who companions are the ones that are a stark contrast with Doctor Who. And in the Tom Baker years, my two favorites were Tila, the barbarian, because he's like the erudite, nonviolent Time Lord, and she's the barbarian who wants to kill everyone. I thought that was a great contrast. And the other one is Romana, the first Romana, because she's um, she's equal to him insofar as they're both Time Lords, but she's all education, and she is like the top of her class. And Doctor Who is all experience, and he barely squeaked by Time Lord Academy or whatever. I thought that was a great uh, contrast. One of my issues with the more recent Doctor Who's is they've made him sort of a demigod, so it's hard to find a companion that's his equal, and that can be maybe River Song, but anyway. OBE, Order of the British Empire. Big fan of Delia Derbyshire. I don't know who that is. OMB, Lala Ward. Not Lala Ward. It was Lala Ward's the second Romana. And I liked her too, but not as much as the first Romana, but the one in the pictures of 90-year-old Tom Baker in the in the TARDIS was Tila. I think it's Louise Jameson is the actress's name. Favorite has always been Jamie. He is the longest serving companion. Yeah, well, Lynette, you started like earlier than I did. I watched very few episodes with Jamie because there would have to be like the retrospectives of the first or second Doctor, and I haven't seen that many of those. Yes, Pan, I have a video on Sapphire and Steel on my channel. Love Sapphire and Steel, and I'm still upset that they never got a new season to finish up the story of what happened to him. Oh, thank you, John. Yeah, Louise Jameson and Mary Tam were my favorite companions in the Tom Baker years. I think Shooty's companion was okay. Yeah, I liked the Shooty episodes. I'm really curious about the new Doctor being uh, I forgot her name, the actress from the David Tennant time period. Not just David Tennant, but the reboot. Because I think someone remind me of her name. I think the new actress that's going to be the new Doctor, saved the reboot because the first Doctor wasn't that charismatic, but the companion sort of saved him. For no, Sapphire Steel was never shown here. Yeah, I saw it on. It was on PBS here. Oh, it's the co-composer of the Doctor Who theme. I did not know that. The missing episodes still exist in private hands, but they have them illegally. Oh, thank you, John. Billy Piper. Gosh, I could not remember her name. Yeah, I think Billy Piper saved the rebooted Doctor Who because um, the first Doctor was okay, but like I said, I don't think he had any charisma. But then when David Tennant was like fantastic, and with Billy Piper, I mean, can't go wrong with that. Okay, okay, guys, I need to get a wiggle on, as they say in Britain. Can you tell my nose is shiny? Oh well. Just give it a. Let's move on to lips. Shoot, where's my. Am I being blind again? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try. No, I'm not. Where did I put my. It's my face paint palette, which I used for the eyebrows already. It's so fascinating watching me look for makeup that is probably right in front of my nose. Oh, no. Well, I can use this, but fudge. We're like Rose's mom. She was very entertaining to watch. I totally agree with you, DK. I think the episode looks with Gatwa was fantastic. It shows good episodes can still be made. Thank you. Rose's mom reminds me of a former neighbor of mine. As far as Trek goes, Dr. Pulaski, so much like my mom, it is frightening. Oh, interesting. I wouldn't like her as a neighbor. Rose's mom, I think she'd be a fine neighbor. Okay. It's really bothering me. I can't find my normal palette. Oh well. Yeah, for me, Doctor Who has always been about the writing. It certainly hasn't been about the special effects or the scenery, at least in the old or early Doctor Who's. I don't know who Camille Kaduri is either, John. When are they getting on Pete's World? What are we talking about? Pete's World. Okay. I was gonna say maybe I should have done purple lipstick, but too late. Oh, the actress who plays Rose's mom. Okay. Still haven't watched Mickey 17. I love the book, so I hesitate to watch the movie. Well, I watched the movie and I have not read the books. I personally really enjoyed the movie. It was unexpectedly satirical. I wouldn't say I'm a Robert Pattinson fan, but I thought he did a probably because I just haven't been following his career after Twilight. Uh, I have a lot more respect for him as an actor after watching Mickey 17 than I did before watching him. And of course, the actress who plays the evil commander's wife, whatever. What's her name? Muriel's Wedding. She's in everything now. United States of Terra. Uh, she was fantastic in it. Parallel Earth Rose ended up on. Thank you, John. Has anyone read Carmilla by Joseph Sheridan LaFanu? No, I have not. Thinking about buying a copy. The one where the Cybermen originate in. Thank you. I don't remember the commander having a wife in the books. I most certainly he didn't. So maybe you will dislike the movie because they've taken some big liberties, which they often do in movies. But I always say the medium is the message, so you really do need to transform sometimes the story to fit a different medium. much to the chagrin of fans of the original medium. But for example, Wicked, the book, and Wicked, the musical, are completely different animals. Okie dokie. We're almost done. We'll add lashes, which always completes the look. Book is Mickey 7, so he only dies six times, or actually only five, since the sixth death didn't actually happen. Well, I have a feeling, Lynette, you need, if you're going to watch Mickey 17, you really need to divorce yourself from the your mind from the book, because I have a feeling it's a lot different. Oh, but I am also a big fan of the Murderbot series on Apple TV, if you have Apple TV. And I have read the books. Big liberties are taken on the TV show, but I thought it was entertaining. And I appreciate they really lent in on the comedy and that they're just half-hour shows. Sometimes I just get tired of those hour shows, and especially for comedy, half hour seems to be appropriate. Okay. Never read Wicked or seen the musical, but I love the film. Pan, if you like erotica, I think you would like Wicked because it goes there. Mm. I'm actually one of the few people that thought the movie should have been transformed a little bit more from the musical version, the theatrical musical. But I'm in the minority there. I thought some of the broad humor that worked on the stage didn't really work in the movie version. But again, I am the minority. Okay, this is pretty much the final look. Let me throw on a wig. Yeah, it's been a while since I bought a new wig, but the guy I use, Friston, who's a retired uh, hair designer for the theater, hasn't been putting out as many wigs as I thought. I thought he'd be putting out a bunch for Halloween. I usually like his Halloween wigs, and I don't think his. I think the quality has gone down a little bit since when I first started. Um, oh, I forgot I have these. I have this. Okay. But I know there's a place in Las Vegas where I live that has drag wigs that I've seen on like eBay. So I may check out their store. Not that I really need more wigs. My friend Sean was visiting. He was like, I can't believe you have so many wigs. Okay. And yeah. Yes, Vegas wigs. Yeah. More purple. You hate it. Which you hate? The musical, the book, or the film? I mean, the musical and the film are pretty much the same. And the wig I had grabbed, it's good old double stack. If Friston would ever do more double stacks, I would get them without hesitating. This wig is so nice. It holds its shape. It's really solid and light. It's a lot lighter than you might think. A double stack meaning there's two wigs on top of each other, and you can hear sort of the bag. Okay. I need a wig. Tough being bald with the young ladies. The movie. Oh, you didn't like the movie. Thank you, John. Um, but a lot of times, I know Lynette doesn't like musicals at all, but a lot of times I think I don't like musicals until I see it live. And then I'm like, oh, I like musicals. And then I see it in the movies. And I'm like, eh. Something about, for me, seeing a musical theater live works better than in the movies. Meaning that when I saw Wicked, the musical live, I absolutely loved it. And I saw it in San Francisco, and it was a treat. And you guys will know because you're not super young, but the person playing Madame Morrible was none other than Patty Duke. I think it's like one of her last appearances before she passed away. So I got to see Patty Duke in Wicked. It's Madame Morrible. The older ladies might not mind you being bald. There we go. Some people actually like bald people. Thank you, Pan. Consider getting a Vegas wig at some point. Well, okay. Well, if I get one this week, hold on until next week, and I'll give you a review, or I'll showcase it. I dance at nightclubs, and most of the girls are college age. Oh, I love going dancing. Um, I have a few male wigs up here, but they're sort of the theatrical ones, but they're kind of fun to wear sometimes. Okay, anyway, this is the final look. I will be filming. What did I say I was going to film? Oh, my review of the last 6 months, They Shelved or Shove It, which will be which I'll release in December after I tell you what I read for December's Shove It or Shove It, which is a book from the November new releases. Does that make sense? Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. I should be back next week. Until we meet again, may all the books you read be blessed.